Welcome to Rural America Live on the Cowboy Channel. Today we get the honor of talking to world-renowned photographer Anouk Krantz, who has had quite the journey throughout her life, and she joins us here on the Cowboy Channel. And you have had such a journey, originally from France, then New York City, but you've been just amazed by the culture of the Western industry in the West, and you've made these amazing photography books. But I want to get the background from the very beginning. How did you discover the West in the way that you did?
I'm an explorer. I love to exchange with those who are different, those with another set of convictions. I try to learn about them and then to understand them, so that I might learn what makes us different and what makes us the same.
Let's go.
This is how we can open ourselves to the possibility of discovering and creating unknown, undiscovered inspirations of our own.
There is no more recognizable symbol in the world than the American cowboy. That's why this has universal appeal.
I grew up in France, and like so many around the world, I've always been intrigued by the image of the American cowboy and the beautiful and dramatic landscapes of the American West. They both evoke a sense of freedom and independence that is so uniquely American. Much later, I moved to America, and while living in New York, I traveled out west to visit this part of the country that I had always wanted to explore. And it was then that I learned that there is so much more substance and meaning to the cowboy culture. Out here, there is no glory or praise for singular achievements. Honor is keeping your word, contributing to your community, and willingness to sacrifice. As I continue to drive tens of thousands of miles to explore this culture, which spreads throughout so many states, I also realize that they have their differences, but they understand they each have an important role to play, and the one common thread among all of them is their values. This is the life they love. In all its glory, its anguish, its gritty determination, through hard work, uncertainty, and together among one another. Out west, there is no me, only us.
So how did you even begin to make that journey when you're in New York City and you know this is something I'm interested in, that I want to really explore, because explorer is also a major part of your job title, not just photographer. How do you begin?
Well, I didn't really intend to do any of this. I didn't intend to be an author, a photographer, to write. This sort of just came really naturally. It all started with this first project, The Wild Horses of Cumberland Island. And that was during the time that I was living in New York, and I really didn't think much about it, but it became a bestseller. And with that came that first question, what is next? And my objective was to find other landscapes that connected people with nature. And my first thought was the cowboy.
When I first visited the American West, I was surprised to learn that cowboys are still alive and well in 21st century America. As I drove further and dug deeper, it was a revelation to learn that their lifestyle and culture endure, remarkably unchanged over the past 150 years. As I ventured even further across this country, I came to learn that these cowboys' communities are not merely rare, isolated pockets, but in fact can be found anywhere and everywhere, stretching from coast to coast. They cherish their freedoms and live largely in the shadows, far removed from our nation's collective consciousness. In order to get to know these cowboys and develop a better understanding of their passion for this way of life, I had to roll up my sleeves and step into the thick of their daily routines. It was a privilege to join them at work, starting in the dark before sunrise and on late into the night. I rode with them on horseback to help corral their herds in sweltering desert brambles. Over a week-long cattle drive, we endured bitterly cold nights and slept in closely pitched teepees among mountain peaks. We crossed deep rivers, hauled gear, chased, and cooked meals. I spent time with college rodeo teams at practice and watched kids as they prepared for and competed in their junior rodeo competitions. These countless first-hand and real experiences, just to name a few, helped me to appreciate and better understand the extent of this culture that most of us have no knowledge exists. What I learned through these adventures is that men, women, parents, grandparents, and children from diverse backgrounds are all united by common values and are measured by what they produce and can contribute. They created communities and civilizations from scratch, built upon their ingenuity, determination, cooperation, and hard work. And to this day, their continued survival depends upon the daily contributions of all. Cowboys are people with an authentic, innocent spirit, grounded in a common belief that if you work hard and treat other people well, you will live a rich and noble life. These real-world experiences over tens of thousands of miles provided insights into the fragility of their world and their passion for their freedoms. They live in stark contrast to a rapidly changing 21st century, a world that moves at a dizzying speed, where technology, connectivity, and anything on demand have come to define our modern-day America. We are all well served to be reminded of the great enduring values of the cowboy that continue to represent one of the foundational pillars of this great country that is America.
To start this project was not very easy because I'm French, I'm from the Northeast, and gosh, you knock on the door of a rancher and no one is going to open a door. You know, you're an outsider. It started with one piece of paper with a phone number, and ultimately that piece of paper became another one and another phone number and became hundreds of different numbers of ranchers introducing me to their friends across the country. All these books are really people coming from across America, from different states, coming together to help me craft the story, which is remarkable. And the intention is, yes, to keep it authentic and raw and as real as possible, because this is a story that people have never seen. The Western culture sits very much in the shadows of our nation's consciousness, but yet it's a pillar, it's a foundational pillar of this great country that is America. And it's very much forgotten. But yet it's so important because these people are waking up in the dark, they're finishing in the dark, they're doing work that most people don't want to do. It's hard, it's dirty, and although people love to be cowboys and put cowboy hats on and boots, when it comes to do the dirty work, no one wants to do it.
It is such an incredible story, and the images that not just America, but the world has truly fallen in love with. And we're actually going to talk more about each one of the individual books when we come back on Rural America Live.
As I continued to travel across the American West, it was a true privilege to photograph the majestic beauty of Wagon Hound in Wyoming. And as I was transported here from the hustle and bustle of a fast-paced life at home, I found myself far removed, standing before a vast expanse of ranch land that rises to the Laramie foothills that then ascends to the Great Rocky Mountains. Back home in New York, I feel empowered, woven into the fabric of a mighty civilization that has conquered the elements and triumphed. However, to stand here at Wagon Hound, among breathtaking beauty while exposed to the elements of the grand skill of the American West, is to be humbled and reminded of our vulnerability and survival skills quickly kick in. These instincts are part of everyday life here on the frontier, the land of freedom and independence, the American dream.
That was quite an unbelievable experience to spend 2 years traveling back and forth from New York to Wyoming during COVID and capturing these men and women at work from dark to dark. And as you know, Wyoming, one of the most remote states in the US. The weather is tough. The wind can blow 60 miles per hour. You will end up with 4 feet of snow or 105 degrees, during the summer. And so going through all those motions and suddenly standing right there in front of this incredible landscape and watching, the whole rhythm between these men and women, their horses, their dogs, and then the land was something incredible. And as you watch it, you smell it, and you get a taste, and then you just don't get enough. You want to see it again, and it starts to become part of you. It's part of your blood, and it's branded in you forever, and you just crave going back over and over again.
At my door, the leaves are falling. A cold wild wind has come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. I go out on a party, I ain't looking for a little fun. I find a darkened corner, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere, and I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. arms that held me when all of love was there.
And another thing mentioned about you as a creative is you really put your heart and soul into this. You do all of the work from start to finish on every single one of these projects, and that's what makes it so unique.
What people probably don't realize is that I don't show up with a crew. I don't have a crew of 50. It's me alone in the car. Once you're done, you're going off to another place. And that place may be 5, 6, 7, 10 hours away. Sometimes I'm on the road for 5 weeks. And so it is extremely time consuming, but that's how you build these relationships.
Thank you so much for joining us here today to celebrate these amazing projects with Anouk Krantz.